Kind of a follow-up video. Like I said on my first video, I don't know how often I'll do these, just kind of when it strikes me. I brought my computer. I'm back on the bus again. Brought my computer and my microphone and everything and had it all set up, and didn't realize that my computer only had about 16%. So it gave me enough time to do one ACX audition, so I did. We'll see how that goes. I got a report back today from ACX that the very first book that I ever did needed some fine tuning, so I'm going to work on that tomorrow. Had some questions, and even some people had brought up before I started doing this whole thing that, kind of led toward the area that I should be very neutral in this. In other words, I brought up in my first video that I'm a Christian and I'm a pastor and I'm a conservative, and it's just not going to happen. I certainly don't want to offend anybody on purpose, but it's who I am. It's not just a thing that's added to my life. It is my life. There are a lot of people out there that call themselves Christians, and I don't know. I don't know what their situation is, but I know that when you look in the Bible at the people who were men of God in the Bible, it was their life. And the Bible says in Matthew 6, it says, Jesus says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. So, I kind of, I'm just going to leave this up to the Lord. And I'm going to get on here and I'm going to talk about things that happen and things that I'm going through. So I wanted to give you a little bit of a background tonight, because when I first started doing this 4 months ago in October, I had no idea what I was getting into. I just, like I said in my first video, I'd seen that gentleman on TikTok and he was going to, look into it. So I thought, well, I want to look into that. And so I did, and it seems like it's really fun. Now, there's some serious work, especially with the audiobooks. Not my favorite thing. I don't hate it, but it takes a lot of time and a lot of concentration. And so, but I'm just going to keep plugging away. I think I would be much happier doing, some commercials, maybe even some e-learning, stuff like that. But, I haven't done it yet, so I don't know. When I first started, I thought that I was not qualified. Maybe I needed to take some acting classes or, whatever. And the fact of the matter is that I have preached on, 3 different continents, 7 or 8 different countries in a couple different languages. And got a bus coming by me right now. See, he's trying to sneak by me here. And I've been speaking in public for a long time. As I put in my first video, I studied at American School of Broadcasting, and then I went to John Brown University, and for quite a few years now, I've done public speaking, and I've used my voice to encourage and motivate people. So I already have a lot of that. Now, I've done some acting, and I like doing acting. I was in the Great Passion Play. Use your voice there. It's recorded. But I did some acting in school and done some community theater and different things like that. And so I'm not unfamiliar with inflection and changing my voice and using different techniques to get different read styles. And, all of us can use help. I listen, like I told you before, go listen to everything Anthony Pica does at A VO's Journey. I'm going to get all his courses. He's a very good teacher, and everything that he does is they're just golden nuggets of truth in there. And, so I'm going to, I want to get better and better and better, but I'm going to jump right into this with the assumption that I know what I'm doing, because I didn't feel that way a couple months ago. And, technically, like, am I using the right mic? Is my sound floor? I didn't even know what sound floor meant when I first started this. I'm still not sure why they call it sound floor. I don't know why they don't just say, hey, how are your acoustics? They want to, I guess, sound floor. So, okay, it's sound floor. I don't know a lot of the technical terms. I'm not really good with the Audacity yet. And so everything that I've gotten off YouTube, and I just go on there and I, look up, hey, how to set Audacity to do ACX books. And I'm doing all those things. And so I'm really encouraged to keep going forward with this. Like I said, I'm in school for the next year. That's why I consider this. So everything I do, and this is kind of one of the main points that I want to bring to you that might be watching, and maybe you're just starting off, is that, Anthony's been doing this for 2 years. Bill Luis, said he was into it a couple years before he really started making some good money. Everybody I talked to really started off their first year and a half, at least 6 to 8 months it's going to take to really kind of see the ball start to move. And so everything that I do, I just consider it, it's schooling. Just like I got the news back today that the very first book that I did, I've got to go back and take everything and go through it again and reset it to ACX standards. I get everything right, but I think it's called the megahertz or whatever. I did like 3200 instead of 4400, so I got to go change it all. And then the book that I did really wasn't divided up into chapters. It had like these little like paragraph headings, and then some of the things that I would read, it would talk about how to pack for a trip, and that might be, I don't know, 600, 700, 800 words, really short. And then, the next thing might have a different heading, and it might be, I don't know, 2,000 words, 3,000 words, whatever. And so when I asked the person who wrote the book, they wrote back and told me, just do it in this section. So do like, 5 or 6 sections. So I've got to check with Audacity. No, I'm sorry, not Audacity, but ACX, and see, do they want me to go back and do each one of those individual headings as a chapter and split all those files up? So I'm not sure about that. But like I said, I'm in school. And so it's been interesting, to say the least. But I'm just going to keep, going and keep trying, just keep doing the best I can. I'll get up tomorrow morning. Tomorrow's Saturday, and I'll get up and I'll try to remaster that stuff and get that sent back in. And I'm probably going to have to definitely then go ahead and send the book that I just finished. I know I did it exactly the same as I did the first one, so I'm just going to go ahead and remaster it as well. So I've only done 2 books, but that's school, right? I mean, you do it and then you learn from it. I could get depressed, I mean, I'll bet I've put in 20 auditions for audiobooks over the last 2 weeks. I probably have it written down somewhere, and nothing. And then I had a person write to me today and say, hey, I'd really like you to do this book for me, but I'm only paying $30 per finished hour, and I need it done in 3 days. And I understand people. This is, I believe in capitalism, and this guy out there is trying to get the best deal he can. He's not going to get that from me. Although I will do some things pretty cheap. And so I just wrote back kindly. I said, hey, I appreciate you reaching out to me, but if you need it done in 3 days, I've got to push it. I've got to really get to work on it. And so I would charge $100 per finished hour for that. And if you gave me, a week or so, then I could probably drop it down to $60 per finished hour, but that's as low as I'm going to go. And, cause like I say, I can come out here and drive a bus and, make $30 just, for sitting around for a couple hours driving kids to a basketball game. So, I would rather spend my time, making demos and getting auditions in at other places. And especially when it comes to these books, because like I said, it's not my favorite thing in the world. I kind of like it. Now I will tell you this, I started off with a book about tourism, and then I just did a book about mushrooms of the upper Midwest, to each their own. And I like mushrooms, but the book was an interesting book. And I actually kind of enjoyed doing that. And I think the guy did a good job writing the book. But I just put in my first audition with dialogue. And oddly enough, it's about a little kid from Africa. And so I had to do some Africa accent. And that's not even an African accent. I don't even know what an African accent is. So, but I just put it in, and like I say, school, right? And so probably the better thing for me to have done would have been to go back and just listen to some people with African a little bit of an African accent, and try that, because I'm pretty good, I do some decent accents. And I've been to Africa. I've been on a mission trip to Ethiopia, which is really cool. And so I kind of tried to model it after the way they talk there, but it sounds more like Arnold Schwarzenegger that's not a very good Arnold. Sorry. I do a much better James Earl Jones kind of thing. And, but I don't know that I could read a whole book like that. So anyway, I'm just coming to you, kind of sharing with you where I'm at, where I'm going. Fiverr is aggravating to me. I don't know even why. I've only been doing it for 4 months, and I have had a job every month for 4 months. So all my basketball kids are coming back, so I'm going to sign off. Talk to y'all later. I'm going to drive these guys home. Bye.